What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. Happy Sunday to you all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan. It is a sunny day. It is a warm day. I cannot believe it. I'm actually standing here with shorts on and with a t-shirt on. Just crazy. Sunscreen has been applied. We're already pushing towards 20 degrees Celsius, roughly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Arrivals take place on Polderbaan right now. And this is all arriving from Tel Aviv, flight 337, 737-900, 4 hours and 21 minutes underway. In the background we can see another airplane approaching the glide slope from the east. That would be... is that Sun Express? I think it is Sun Express. Sky Express, arriving from Greece, Heraklion. Got a Turkish A350 coming in and a Dreamliner TUI arriving from Cancun, Mexico. Resorted to using the remote control again, but I attached it to the wrong leg. So now my hands are in each other's way. We'll sort that in a moment. Got duckies present already. Big picture wise, this is what it currently looks like. You can see blue skies all over, but what you can also see, if you look closely, are contrail remnants. So if anything is coming from Frankfurt my way or from Munich from there, let me know. Any quads. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke, there hardly is any, and you can see it. Also shows in the water, near mirror-like conditions in the water. No, let's go back to autofocus. There we go. Let me quickly remount my remote control for the zoom. A lovely gift by Lambert a couple of weeks ago. And attach it one tripod leg to the left. There we go. Really handy for more subtle zooming. Right, let's see. 2 airplanes. Is the third one already visible? There is a third one turning in. The number 2 is the A350 from Turkish, and from the other side, from the left, a number 3 should be turning in anytime soon. That would be a TUI Dreamliner arriving from Cancun. Let's widen the view a little bit. Very good morning to everybody who has joined. Jane says it looks so weird with actual sunlight. Yeah, absolutely. It feels very strange to be standing here with so many body parts exposed to the sun. But I did skip taking my vitamin D tablet this morning. Won't be needing it. Not with the dose of vitamin D my body will generate today. Well, vaguely visible at 7 o'clock at the same altitude as the first airplane. You see the flickering of that TUI Dreamliner arriving from Cancun. First up, A320 Neo time, Sky Express, flight 8250, arriving from Heraklion, Greece. 3 years old, first flight November 2020. Greece's Bliss, there you go. Indeed, Wolfgang. What the F? Actually, the sun shining. Yeah, saw that 747 land here as I was setting up. The timing today, very unfortunate. I think we're going to see just one 747. There's more coming, but they're all expected to arrive later. Suparna is expected around, was it 1:30 or so? I don't know. It's probably going to land at runway 27. Same goes for the A380. This is Turkish flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul. It's an A350-900. Not crabbing today. 2 hours 49 minutes on the way. So shorter flight than normal. Normally speaking, flight time averages around 3 hours. This airplane just turned 1 this month. Started flying in June 2023. Now, Sander, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships just now. Very generous of you and very kind. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those 5 new members. Don't be forgetting to say thanks to Sander for your gifted membership, and be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal. Sander, thank you so much, man. Really kind of you. Now, no time to waste. Got a Dreamliner coming in from Cancun. TUI flight 822. Boeing 7878. HTFM. The airplane is 9 years old, first flight March 2015. Interestingly, got a couple of runners already passed, a couple passed by, and you can see there are still a couple that are doing some morning cardio. Also some people further out at the Polderbaan itself. People standing at the gate. Probably parked their car on the roundabout. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Michael, good morning. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Now, there's a contrail over there. Pretty far away already. Flying from east to west. Still northeast of me. Nou. Hadi Marius. Met Susia en Juliet. Goedemorgen allemaal. Hadi Marja, goedemorgen. Got EasyJet flight 22515 up next, arriving from London Luton. A320. London Luton. You see the windmills in the background, hardly spinning. Hey, Mrs. Professor, also back in the chat. Good morning. Paddy, goedemorgen. Ja, die Karin, goedemorgen. Some random dude on a bike passing by, yelling something like, is it coming along with the nice pictures? Randomness. At Polderbaan, KLM flight 592, 777-300 arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. Hadi Blokkie Games, goedemorgen. Patrick, goedemorgen. And everybody who has joined in the meantime, a warm welcome and good morning. Summer seems to have arrived in the Netherlands, at least for the time being. Blue skies all over, contrails visible, a few bugs, and an A320neo up next, arriving from Birmingham. United 773-200 arriving from San Francisco behind it. Goedemorgen Piet. Tourist boat asks, windy? Nope, hardly any wind. And indeed, Mark, best day weather-wise in ages. Although a little bit of wind wouldn't hurt. Just to get a bit of refreshment over here. Maybe also keep the bugs at a distance. Well, bugs, I say bugs, it's mostly a fly that has been bugging me a little bit. Too early for 2 shots. Captain Jerry also in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. You missed a lot of glide slope shots yesterday, mate, but they are better visible today, so if you had to pick a day, this one is the best to join. A320neo arriving from Birmingham. It says it on the tin, Neo. Hadi Sven, goedemorgen. Next up, United Airlines Flight 968 arriving from San Francisco, 777-200. Towards the boat asks if they cut the grass over by my position. No, they haven't. They certainly haven't. It's a bit trampled where I'm standing, and the part leading up to my place and everything over here, as you can see, where I'm actually standing is already trampled. Everything around me still high AF. Right, United Airlines, 22 years old, 777-200, arriving from San Francisco. Come on, fire up those reversers. Even though it's not necessary to use them, I still want to hear them. Now, flap surfaces are not necessarily squeaky clean. They're not the dirtiest, they're not the cleanest. Mid-range, if you will. Also, outbound traffic. Quite well visible and audible today. Embraer, probably on its way to the Nordics. Now, some contrail remnants. Bom dia!
Hier.
Alles goed?
Prima met jou.
Lekker hoor.
Lekker beetje.
Ik wou juist zeggen, eindelijk een keertje de korte broek van stal. Heerlijk.
Voorlopig blijft zo.
Ik hoop het.
Fijne dag.
Hey, fijne dag. Doei doei. Right. The next airplane is number 190, arriving from Prague, and somewhere, oh yeah, there it is, already coming in from the right. Croatia Airlines Flight 450, arriving from Zagreb. Thank you for sharing that informative information, Captain Jerry, who says my farts smell like anchovies and wet carpet. Yummy. That smells good. Sounds good. KLM Flight 1352 up next, arriving from the Czech Republic, from Prague, Embraer 190, 1 hour and 7 minutes on the way. It's the Fiji. Fiji come, Fiji go. 15 years old, this one. First flight June 2009. And the A319, Croatian, arriving from Zagreb, getting closer by. Hadi RW, goedemorgen. Good morning, Urs. Hey there, Brody. Good morning. See you made it. Good to see you again. Pete says 747 now passing by. Could you be a bit more specific, mate? Looking up in the sky, I'm not seeing any quads passing by nearby. Croatia Airlines Flight 450 A319, arriving from Zagreb. One hour and 34 minutes on the way. 9A CTL, 24 years old, first flight June 2000. The disembodied voice. Hey Anja, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Racing cyclists passing by. Shiny. Yeah, we're hearing you. We're hearing you, buddy. Clint Eastwood, here he is. Doing morning cardio as always. Having a little nibble. Howdy Siegfried, goedemorgen. Look who kept quiet in the foreground. Right, swim, now, let's go, full thrust. You've got a little feather on your snout, mate. Still there. That looked comical. Ah, we've got yellow-eyed duck again. Nice. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Howdy Petra, aloha Jinshin. Welcome all others who have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the Polderbaan. At the moment the runway being used for arrivals. The next airplane to arrive is an E2 Embraer arriving from Berlin, KLM flight 1772. On its way for 56 minutes as we speak. The airplane is 2 years old, the PHNXF. First flight was in October 2021. Now, as this airplane is coming closer by, getting closer by, let's also have a quick look at the current status quo, shall we? So, in terms of the weather, let's do a refresh of the METAR, see what's changed. Wind is still more or less from the south. Wind speed is just 4 knots. We have few clouds at 1,500 feet. The air temperature has already risen to 20 degrees C, roughly 70 F. Wind finder with the wind for today expected to turn to the northwest later today. Wind will not pick up to anything substantial. The speed and gusts will stay below 10 knots. Current runway configuration, we're standing at the only runway being used for arrivals. In terms of arriving traffic, the Orange Pride is flying south of Ireland and is expected around 11:20. Returning from Willemstad, Curaçao, we have the A380 that is expected around 1 o'clock. Suparna is expected past 1 o'clock, so it's going to land on the wrong runway and around 1 o'clock, but arriving from the right direction is Cargolux, which we'll see land on this runway. KLM style landing. Keep up the speed. If I get late, sooner to the gate. While keeping very quiet. We've got another Sky Express A320 Neo arriving from Zakynthos, arriving from the east. We have a 787-10 arriving from New York, arriving from the west, and we have a Transavia 737 arriving from the southwest, which is returning from Olbia. For those of you unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol Airport, this is the furthest removed runway. You already saw it in the chart just now. It has its own ATC tower. This long line of trees that you see is the connecting taxiway to the main platform area. Main platform area is behind the trees over there. Terminal building and the main tower are over there. Means that airplanes landing here still have at least 10 minutes of taxi ahead of them before they'll be able to reach the gates. 3 miles from the terminal, Tours to Boat says. Hey, Infinity also in the chat, good morning. There it goes. Taxi, taxi, taxi. The firefighters already did their round. Now, it's overgrown over there. Even if the vehicles were still out there, it's hard to see today. Although you would see the top of the fire trucks if they were still out. Here you see the E2 Embraer taxiing back to the gate, or at least to the main platform area initially. Is there life in the tower? Right. Little bit of heat wave distortion already. In the meantime, Transavia should be arriving west of me. Yeah, got it. What's the best way to turn around? This way. Transavia 737 arriving from Olbia. What was it? There it is. Flying just off the coast. And the Dreamliner arriving from New York JFK should also be somewhere over there. Not seeing it just yet, but I think it should be visible. Just need to know where I need to look. Right, well, I'm not seeing it just yet. No matter. Things will become visible soon. Looks like the Dreamliner arriving from New York JFK is going to be the first airplane, or is Transavia turning in? Oh yeah, Transavia is turning in, so Transavia will probably be the first airplane then. Also copied that METAR earlier. Pasted in the ticker just now. Hey there, Ange. Good morning. Let's see. So it is the Transavia that will be the first airplane to land. There it is. That is the 737, isn't it? Or is that the Dreamliner already? Huh. I think that's the Dreamliner. Yeah, here we go. I was already thinking it was looking so far away. That can't be right. This looks better. Now, third airplane arriving from Zakynthos is also approaching. A320neo Sky Express. Transavia flight 16916 coming this way, arriving from Olbia, first airplane to arrive, 1 hour 57 minutes underway, the PHHXD, 8 years old, first flight May 2016. Hey there Tina, morning, definitely wearing sunscreen, absolutely. Goedemorgen Senna. KLM flight 644 arriving from New York JFK, the number 2, 787-10 Dreamliner, 6 hours and 4 minutes underway. PHBKI, 3 years old, first flight August 2020, and the third airplane to arrive is going to be Sky Express flight 7100 A320neo arriving from Zakynthos in Greece. Which is also coincidentally where one of my mates is currently spending a holiday week. Sky Express A320neo, but first Transavia arriving from Olbia. You might also hear some fireworks being set off. That is to the south, towards the tower. Now it's also getting a bit more busy over here. More people. It is a weekend day, the weather is nice. So what do Dutchies do? Go to the Polderbaan. And rightly so. Right, this is KLM flight 644. It is arriving from New York. Just over 6 hours it has flown to get here. 6 hours and 6 minutes. PHBKI is this airplane's registration, and that airplane is 3 years old, began flying in August 2020. 2 months and then it's celebrating its birthday. Right, time for Sky Express once more. Flight 7100. Oh. Here we go. A320neo arriving from Zakynthos, 2 hours and 45 minutes on the way. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in April 2021. And German Monster says a lovely good morning from Berlin. Guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Got a big flask of water here with me. Well, actually two. The thermos with water that keeps cool. The big liter flask kept in the fridge, and also put some ice blocks in to keep cool as long as possible. Good morning, KLM fan. Good morning to all others who have joined in the meantime. Welcome to the show. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan. Sunny weather. And airplanes arriving from Greece. Which is bliss, just so you know. Right, there's definitely a butt shot in the making. Here we go. Good chance to see through those see-through engines of the Neo. Hey there, KLM fan. Hey there, Peter. Now, Frankie says that the SkyTeam livery KLM is also incoming in 3 minutes. That's good news. KLM flight 598 arriving from Cape Town by the looks of it. Also a massive big thank you to Marianne for your 6 months of continued support as a member. Time flies. Still enjoying your streams, she writes. Thank you so much for your continued support, Marianne. I'm happy to hear that you still like it in the lounge, and I hope you will continue to do that for many more months to come. Thank you so much for your continued support, and if something isn't to your liking in the lounge, do let me know, see what I can do about it. The next airplane to arrive should be arriving from the east. Yep, there it is. That is a 737-700 arriving from Copenhagen. And there's a 737-8, no, oh, this is a 737-800, and the 737-700 should be approaching from the other side in the background somewhere. Often a bit lower. It's always hard to assess where the airplanes are in real time based on what you see on flight radar. Probably still a bit further to the left. Visibility is top notch today, so we should be able to see it once it does get within visual range. That would be the 737-700 arriving from Geneva. Maybe widen the shot a little bit. Meh. Oh wait, yeah, in the top. And you can see that little cloud was in the way. It became a little bit more vague momentarily. Right, Mark has to go. Big family barbecue to prep for. Nice. Enjoy, mate. See you later. KLM flight 1268 Arriving from Copenhagen, the first airplane to arrive, 737-800, flight time 54 minutes, par for the course. Copenhagen, Berlin, Dublin. These are all destinations roughly an hour of flight away from Amsterdam. This is a KLM style landing where they keep up the speed and vacate late. There we go, the PHBVD turning in, arriving from Cape Town. Now number 2. Number 1 is KLM flight 1930, 737-700, arriving from Geneva. Flight time 1 hour and 8 minutes. The PHBGG, 15 years old, first flight March 2009. Hey there Klaus, good morning. Further up north, airplane number 3 should be turning in from the east. KLM Malta. Hey, photo bomb by K1. Morgen. Hey, are they going to cut the grass? Wouldn't that be something? Here is the PHBVD. It is the 777-300ER in the SkyTeam livery. Arrived from Cape Town, 10 hours 57 minutes underway. KLM flight 598. The PHBVD is 14 years old. First flight was in August 2009. And good morning to the Yorkshire Traveller. Good morning Feathered Music, good morning Drew, and good morning Adriaan. Next up is an all-white Avion Express Malta airplane flying for KLM Malta, which used to be called Air Malta. And this airplane is coming in from Malta. All white, beautiful, 2 hours and 45 minutes on the way. An A320 that is 20 years old. First flight was in February 2004. The airplane behind it, Tarom, arriving from Bucharest. Not a baby bus today, sadly, but the 737-800. Turning in the background somewhere should be a Choinese triple arriving from Shanghai. Ooh, 2 consecutive Chinese triple freighters arriving from Shanghai actually. Flipping hell, nice. Choina Southern, that's the one turning in right now. And China Cargo is also coming. Can we see it already? Or are the clouds in the way? Either way, 2 back-to-back Chinese triple freighters. Nice. Now, word of warning, you are watching this channel at your own discretion. I cannot be held accountable for any loss to speakers or eardrums if the landings get loud, which they might with the 2 Chinese triples. Oh, sun momentarily behind the cloud over here. What the hell? Now there are more clouds forming right now. As you guys can see, we had a mostly blue sky now, but some cumulus clouds are forming. If you look all around, still looks best looking to the west, but it's nothing substantial. There's the other Chinese triple. 2 consecutive Chinese triples. How lucky. Before that, first Tarom flight 361 737-800 arriving from Bucharest, 2 hours and 25 minutes underway. 11 years old this airplane, first flight March 2013. Waarom, daarom, why? That's why. Right, double triple time folks, double triple time. 2 Chinese triples arriving from Shanghai. Fantastic. Starting off with China Southern Cargo, flight 451, 777 freighter, 10 hours and 34 minutes on the way, 13 years old, first flight August 2010. Triple number 2, Choina Cargo Airlines, also arriving from the same Shanghai, 777 freighter, 10 hours and 39 minutes underway. This airplane is a year old, first flight August 2022, nearly turning 2. So old leads the way and then it is new. That's the condition. Just compare the flap surfaces of this triple with the ones from KLM. Chinese triples are too busy working, no time to get clean. Well, that was a nice entree. Let us now do that over one more time. China Cargo Airlines. This one is a year old, nearly 2. Somewhere in the background should be, yeah, there it is, turning in, arriving from Ljubljana in Slovenia. Transavia flight 6820 at a respectable distance. So that the wake turbulence will not interfere. Made in Choina, indeed. Russell wasn't impressed. Same shit, different day. Right. Harry. Oh, it's the triplet. There's two. And there's also a third one on that side. And the tractor is going to go into the field. Do some spraying. Now there's more 777s coming. Flying base right now. And probably becoming visible from the right in a moment. Emirates Sky Cargo, arriving from Dubai. In the meantime, this is Transavia flight 6820, arriving from Ljubljana. Gieren, okay. Well, you guys know agriculture, I know nothing. This is Transavia, arriving from Ljubljana, 1 hour and 29 minutes on the way. 737-800, the PHHXO. It is 5 years old, first flight January 2019. One of the herons over there. Transavia. Nice. It's a nice one. Transavia. More 777s, damn it. Emirates Sky Cargo up next, arriving from Dubai, flight 9906. 6 hours and 19 minutes on the way. The A380 normally does 10 minutes more longer about the journey. Die Jendrosek, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Engineer on board, good morning. Alan, good morning mate. Beautiful day, absolutely. First time in a long time that I am out here with just a shorts on and a t-shirt. Had to put on sunscreen this morning. Really incredible. But there you go. That's a few minutes of extra prep that I happily take. Righty, Emirates Sky Cargo, flight 9906, 6 hours 20 minutes on the way. Another 777 freighter, this one 2 years old, first flight June 2022. Summer outfits indeed, Jindrosek. I did bring a vest along with me, but I left it in the car because I noticed as soon as I stepped out, I wouldn't be needing it. Hadi Misha, tuning in from Borkenbergen on tower duty and enjoying our breakfast. Well, bon appetit! And thank you, Stefan, for your kind words. Oh my god, you're stripping for cash now. Yes, I'll be starting an OnlyFans pretty soon. Well, I do keep it in shape, or at least that's what I try. Just when there's a thick parka covering it, you just don't see it. Definitely something I can highly recommend to everybody. Work out, use it or lose it. So if you keep your muscles and bones strong, they will also stay strong as you get older, which means you will be able to open up cans and jars without any help when other people your age do need help and assistance. Captain Eddie Bos, good evening, good to see you again. Wendy, goedemorgen, good to see you. Well, it was a smooth landing, not a loud landing. Next up, Azzurro, ITA Airways, arriving from Rome, A321neo, flight 108. 1 hour 52 minutes on the way. We have a 3 airplane glide slope shot. Jerry, are you still around? Take in the glide slope shots. It's never too early for a 3 airplane glide slope shot. The number 2 is an Embraer 190 arriving from Munich. The number 3 is a 737 arriving from London. Fish chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary flipping poppins, London. But that's number 3. First up, Azzurro di Roma. Bellissimo quest'aereo. Just look at it shine. Now that new livery of JetBlue also comes close. It looks very similar, the color of blue. We saw that one land, I think, earlier in the week, last week. Really lovely to see. Also a big warm welcome to Andrea, who just became an Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you so much for choosing AMS Live. I hope you will like it in the lounge. The same goes for Martijn, who also just became our latest member. Welcome to the club, fellas. Thank you for choosing AMS Live. The custom emojis are now at your disposal, but they're also to the disposal of all members. Use them and don't be shy using them. They're there for a reason. Delta A330 just took off from runway 24, the Cargolux. In the meantime, over here, Embraer just touched down. Anybody home? Somebody is home, absolutely. Hadi Leen, goedemorgen. And all others who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It's a summery day over here. Although more clouds, more friendly cumulus clouds are now forming. You can see it increase by the minute. Nice warm temperatures, hardly any wind. What wind there is blowing was blowing from the south more or less, but it is expected to turn to the northwest later in the day. Even at the peak of the day, the winds will not surpass 10 knots, so calm weather, calm summery weather. This is KLM Flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. It's a 737-800, the PHBXZ. 16 years old, first flight February 2008. Interesting, 16 years old, but it does have a Wi-Fi hump. We've seen airplanes less old than this that didn't have one. Still not sure what the logic is behind it, which ones do and don't have Wi-Fi humps. And latest member Martijn says, good morning everybody on this channel, just became a member. Yes, thank you so much for choosing AMS Live. Welcome Martijn. Hope you will like it over here. If anybody is new to the channel, feel free to ask any questions if you have any. You don't have to say hi, but it's always appreciated. We've got a couple of airplanes that are coming in. Hey, ITA is... oh shoot. The ITA A320. Is it going to land on runway 27? Hey there Donzelli. Happy Sunday to you too, bro. Hope all is well over there in Copenhagen. ITA is flying the A220 from Milan to Amsterdam, but the way it is flying now to the northeast makes me wonder if it is going to land on runway 27, which I think it will. But I hope it won't. That is such a beautiful combination of a beautiful airplane and a beautiful livery. Transavia having arrived from Mahon, where mayonnaise originated from. Right. Another Transavia coming in. This one, the old standard livery. It is flying for Transavia once again, and it is returning from Pisa. Pisa. And says, I'm 40 and I have a Wi-Fi hump. Oh dear. Well, as long as it is a benignant Wi-Fi hump, then you won't have to get it removed. Benign. Benign is the right word. Or did I say that initially? Huh. Was there some vodka in my water bottle? Previous standard livery of Transavia, a bit more colorful. What do you guys think? Which livery looks best? The current one or this one? ITA 220 going to 27. Okay, yeah, was afraid of that. Lois says I like the newer livery. Tours the Boat says old livery. Engineer on board says nah, the one before. Right, the opinions vary. TUI Dreamliner arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Boeing 7878, Dreamliner. Now you see flex, and now no more. Has to be the most understated Wi-Fi hump that there is on an airplane. If you compare that with the massive humps on those smaller airplanes. Well, the tractor is definitely spraying. Misting. I don't think that is manure. I think that is probably fertilizer or pesticide or something. Now let's quickly turn back. We have a Delta A330 up next. That has the potential to get loud. Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Martijn likes the old livery. Danny also says this version is more colorful. Does have something, yeah. Anyway, Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 7 hours and 55 minutes on the way. The A330-300 that we are seeing is 20 years old and began flying in March of the year 2004. Ladies and gentlemen, members, do you know what time it is after that? Care to venture a guess? Hadi Adrie, goedemorgen. Lies says it's a Belgian plane, boy. We're all a bit too understated over here. Ah wel. Zijt ge uit België? Welkom. So it's not Lies, but Lise waarschijnlijk. Right. Playtime it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. The next airplane, A320neo, arriving from Reykjavik, flight 460. Playtime is upon us. 2 hours and 29 minutes underway. The TFPPF, which I think we also saw yesterday. The airplane is a year old, first flight March 2023. AMS Live logo behind it. 78710, arriving from Cartagena. Now, folks, if you've been liking what you've been seeing so far, don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Help spread this content to more aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves who might also be interested in streams like this. Third airplane turning in, overshooting the glide slope just a little. KLM Flight 636, 777, 200, arriving from Las Vegas. Getting back in line, forming that beautiful linear glide slope shot that we have come to love. Tourist boat says, "Ay Dios mío." Good God. Feathered Music will be flying playtime next week. Nice. And Jane has to go outside, enjoy the weather and the rest of the day. Flying AMS Live logo up next. KLM Flight 749, arriving from Cartagena in Colombia. That's in Colombia, right? Yeah, I think it was in Colombia. Still is. 9 hours 19 minutes underway. The BKM. This airplane is a year old. Its first flight was in May 2023, so this airplane turned 1 a month ago. Spoilers go up, flex goes away. Right, AMS Live, where you can also see what goes on the farmland. Not just what goes on in the sky. Hey there, Andrea. Good evening, tuning in from chilly Canberra. Well, not so chilly over here for the first time in a while. Sending over some warmth to you guys down under. This is KLM Flight 636, arriving from Las Vegas. 777-200, 9 hours 22 minutes on the way, the PHBQD. It is 20 years old. First flight was in December 2003. Tourist Boat asks if I live close to the Polderbaan. Well, it depends. Last time somebody asked me that and I told them where I lived approximately, they said, oh, that's far away. Well, I was under the impression that I didn't live too far away, so that's all relative. But I live about 20 minutes by car away from over here. You decide if you think that's far away. Red tractor. More playtime. Get out your red tractor emojis. Oh wait. Oh, that is for hay, collecting hay, I think. Those spinny things, that's for hay, right? Anyway, enough about hay. Hey, hey. Let's see, KLM Flight 1918, landing now, arriving from Zurich. And another big hump on the back of this airplane. Little doggo came over, running over here enthusiastically, which is why I had to giggle. Yeah, exactly. I think I saw that somewhere before already in the fields around Schiphol, Mrs. Professor, that it puts the hay in a row so that it makes it easier to pick up. Cool. Right, we have another 777 in the background. In the foreground we have an EasyJet A320neo. Yeah, Alan, absolutely. Pretty sure, pretty soon I will be selling off my own butt shots. Yeah. AIM is live on OnlyFans, right? Hey, you said you were going to be my agent. Do you have experience in the pimping game, Alan? While EasyJet is going to make a butt shot, let us quickly turn back and have a look at the 777 that is coming this way. It is KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin, Texas, 8 hours and 43 minutes on the way. It's the PHBQH, 19 years old, first flight September 2004. Iberia Express, the next airplane to arrive to Polderbaan by the looks of it, an A320, now flying base in the vicinity of Beverwijk. Hey there Bob, good evening. Bob tuning in from Sydney. Winter has arrived down under, hasn't it? Or at least on paper. Over here, as you guys can see, finally something resembling calendar conform weather. Nice sunshine. Feels warm in the sun. Air temperature was already approaching 20°C, 70°F. I think we might have a moment to do another update of the weather after this landing. Look at the flap surfaces, compare that with the Chinese triples. Day and night difference. Indeed, feathered music, butter smooth. KLM heavy pilots renowned for that. Now, PC-24 arriving from Luton, but probably going to runway 22. Should be passing overhead somewhere. Can I spot it? That's the question. Anja has to go. Thank you for joining, Anja. Take care. I will be careful with the sun, don't you worry. Now, just see the airplane that is next on the glide slope. Coming this way, Iberia Express A320, arriving from Madrid. Let's just have a quick look at the weather situation. Oh, Orange Pride is also getting close by, expected in 15 minutes. The A380 is over Romanian airspace and is expected a minute to 1. Cargolux is flying west of Ireland, expected in an hour and 20 minutes from now. Suparna expected around 1:30, so that is going to land on the wrong runway, and this airplane will be expecting at 2 o'clock. METAR refresh. Wind is still blowing from the south on average, varying a little bit, southwest, southeast. Not much to write home about. 5 knots of wind, 2 bow 4, few clouds at 2,200 feet, and the air temperature has risen to 21 degrees C, so that is 72 F approximately. Back to the big screen. Let me just paste that METAR in the ticker. If you guys are unfamiliar with METARs, it is very interesting. It is the weather report of this airport, updated twice an hour, 5 minutes to the hour and 25 minutes past the hour. EHAM is the abbreviation for Schiphol Airport together with AMS, hence AMS Live. It starts off with the wind, with the time and the date. 23rd is today, 8:55 Zulu time, that is 10:55 Central European time, local time you can see in the bottom left. Then the wind, 5 knots from 190 degrees. The wind direction is variable between 150 degrees. Now let me first do the landing of the next airplane, then I will take you through the METAR once more. Iberia Express, flight 3722, arriving from Madrid, A320. 16 years old, first flight October 2007. There's a little bit of reverser usage, nice. Got to hear the reversers of the A320 quite well. Definitely no Dutch pilots aboard that airplane. Hadi Wendy, goedemorgen. KLM fan asks if I've ever been to Norway. I haven't. Not yet, at least. Right, so the METAR once again is coming in view. If you have a look, where were we? We were at the wind speed and wind variability, variable between 150 degrees and 230 degrees. Visibility 9999 means 10 kilometers or more. Then the clouds, few clouds at 2000 feet. The air temperature is 21 degrees C. The dew point is 16 degrees C. The QNH is the air pressure, 1019 hectopascals, and no significant changes expected in the upcoming weather. In the upcoming 2 hours. Now I think that the PC24 is... It should be visible. Just trying to see if I can see it already. Not yet. You can see more cumulus clouds accumulating. Maybe they should call them accumulus clouds. They're accumulating. Looks best to the west, where the wind is also blowing from partially. Beautiful cloudy vistas. Friendly clouds all over. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks a little bit like this. Now in the meantime, further north we should see the next airplane to arrive. There it is, Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg, KLM flight 1710. This flight has taken 39 minutes so far. That is par for the course. Luxembourg, Paris and London, all three average around 40 to 45 minutes of flight time from Amsterdam or to Amsterdam. The airplane is 14 years old. Its first flight was in September 2009. Epic R, good morning. Han, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, folks. Hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday to you all. Orange Pride is coming this way. It is approaching the coast. Let me see if we can also capture it when it turns to the north on the downwind leg. I'm expecting it to come within visual range first and then turn to the north. Well, maybe not. There's not a lot of traffic preceding it. Maybe they will just continue and pass over the North Sea Canal, turn in, just land straight out. Might be. Captain East Cook also in the vicinity. Hey! Are we seeing Captain Wheelie? No. Captain Wheelie would have carried that wheelie until way past the tower. Alright, let's see. The Orange Pride, where is it? It is in the vicinity of Beverwijk, approaching the coast, so thinking, generally speaking, somewhere over there, which is where I'm now looking. Not sure if it is within visual range already. Plus you also really need to look where you need to know where you need to look. It is approaching the coast now, so I think it should be within visual range now, normally speaking. We should also see it from the side, so it should be visible quite nicely, normally speaking. Got it. Let's see. Somewhere over there. There we go. The PHBVA KLM Orange Pride. Arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. The number 9 on flight radar. 244 people are following it. Surely we could get it into the top 5. Now number 8. 8 hours and 33 minutes this airplane has taken so far to get here, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, the sea of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao, which you will find off the coast of Venezuela. I'm going to dial back the zoom a little bit because we were in the top end of digital zoom, making things a little bit pixelated. 16 years old, first flight January 2008. See, the Paul is also back in the chat. Good morning, Paul. Good to see you and nice timing. Hey there, Crystal. Hey there, Hamed. Hey there, Mike. Wow. Still at number 8 by 476 people tracking it now. Must be busy in the top 5 then. Hey Jimmy, just in time indeed. Top 5 has 900. Well, we come a few viewers short of that. Now folks, don't forget to drop a like if you are liking what you have been seeing so far. Really helps to spread this content to more fans and people who haven't come across the channel just yet. We also see the next airplane in the background. That is a 737-800 arriving from Edinburgh. And Air Canada 777-300 is turning in, arriving from Toronto. And we've got Russell doing a little photo bomb moment here. Over here where I'm standing, the sun is now hiding from behind a cloud. Ah, there's the third airplane in the bottom, the center. Overshot the glide slope apparently, you can see it. It has to fly back a little bit. Right, lights, camera, action. It is the orange Pride coming in. The PHBVA. Let's look and listen. Of course, getting nice lighting when it passed us by up close would have been too much to ask. Screw it, I'm still flipping off the clouds. I'm flipping them back unprovoked. Well, they have provoked me. Yeah, and now as it is evacuating, oh no, vacating the runway. There's the light. Got the crow crew in the foreground. Cheryl also there. I think I can hear her sing. All I want to do is have some fun. I got the feeling I'm not the only one. No, you've got a whole posse with you. You can see the crows are warm. They have their beaks open. Just to cool off a little bit. Hadi Lucas, good morning. Good morning, Bayern Basti. Guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen. Oh, was it still in the top 5 or eventually? Hey, Wolfie also back. So we've got Wolfgang and Wolfie now. Wi-Fi Humpty Dumpty on the back. Ah, that's reassuring, Hans. Who writes, the firefighters will come to cool them off in a moment. Referring to the crow crew. Excellent. Wolfie is also currently spotting. Hey Klaas, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Air Canada up next. Ready to rob a bank. It has its mask on. Arriving from Toronto. This is a 777-300 6 hours and 20 minutes on the way. Little flyby by Stephen or Sally, one of the seagulls. And this is the sea fittle, which I hope will not throw a fit. Morning. Craig and Matt just having some dinner. Good evening, mates, and enjoy your dinner. Hadi Duffy, goedemorgen. Nice weather indeed, absolutely. It's going to get even warmer tomorrow and the next couple of days. Oh, Mama Duck still only has 3 ducklings left. No, I think it was a different Mama Duck that had 10. They're passing me by. It's the mama with the light feathers. 17 years old, this airplane, by the way. First flight March 2007. Oh no! They're coming this way. Now the reeds are in the way and we cannot see the little ducklings anymore. You can see the ripples still emanating from their swimming, and if you look between the weeds you might see glimpses of them. That was Mama Duck with the light feathers, who was having 3 ducklings still following her. I thought it was a different duck that had the 10. Right. Got another Air Canada airplane coming in as number 3. 2 Embraers from KLM leading in the meantime. And you can see the triplet already. Number 3 is Air Canada, the Dreamliner arriving from Montreal. Number 2 is an E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels. Number 1 is an Embraer 190 that is arriving from Bristol. More vodka, damn it. Happy to hear that, Klaus. Happy to hear that. Also butterflies over here. What is it? Okay. The coots are now also going to act grebe-like towards me. Or, yeah, diving under. That is such a grebe thing to do. You can see how water repellent those feathers are. You can see the droplets laying on top of them. Just like with waterproof clothing. Yeah. Talking about you, buddy. Absolutely. Right, I'm hearing the E2. Quick look. Right, let's turn back. Air Canada flight 900 arriving from Montreal, coming in next. The next airplane behind it is an A321neo arriving from Boston, Massachusetts, JetBlue flight 631. The third airplane behind these two will be an EasyJet A390 and B190. Arriving from Aberdeen. Now let's see, it is 11:26 and I think in 15 minutes from now runway 27 is going to close again in favor of all inbound traffic coming to this runway exclusively, at least until around 1 o'clock. And then between 1 and 2, runway 27 is probably going to open up again. Oh, is that a beetle? Huh. Let's see. Is that a beetle that just landed on me? Let's see. Looks like it. Get away. it really collided into my shirt as if it was trying to avoid me but couldn't anymore, or got blown into me due to the wind or something. It was a thump, not a soft landing. As if it happened by accident. Anyway, let's see. So we have JetBlue A321neo arriving from Boston. My first OnlyFans subscriber, Ange says. Three airplane glide slope shot. JetBlue. KLM, KLM, KLM. Now, third KLM is another heavy, arriving from Toronto. In between will be an Embraer 190 first and an Embraer 175 behind it. Now, what's the name of this one? Minty McMintface. Yeah, frequent visitor of Amsterdam, Minty McMintface. At least they had Wi-Fi on board. Now, big picture-wise, this is what it currently looks like. This is looking to the southeast. Still have yet to see any contrails arriving from what is probably going to be Frankfurt or Munich. They usually come from this part in the sky, pass immediately overhead. Looking to the south, the west coast, of course, has the best papers today. You typically see that the wind blows from west to east, and as soon as air passes over land, it starts to rise, humidity will condensate and clouds will form. This is looking to the north, so you can see land inward the most cloudiness. And if you go to the coast right now, you will see the most blue skies. This is KLM Flight 912, German Airways, returning from Aberdeen. Deck JC is the name of this one. Hey, your aviation. Morning, mate. Still in? Are you still in Israel or are you back already? Also see Sarah in the chat. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Now, next up, Embraer 175 arriving from Newcastle. Behind it is KLM Flight 696, which is a 7879 Dreamliner returning from Toronto. Raven Rock also back in the chat. Good morning. Johan, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. KLM flight 954 arriving from Newcastle. You can see by the shape of the winglets it is an Embraer 175. Now I need to look further. The 190 and the 175, you can easily differentiate between looking at the winglets. Of course the fuselage length is also discerning, but that is if you look from the side. Now if your suspected Embraer has big ass engines and no winglets, it's probably an E2. Christopher Coot over there still making some noise. He definitely wants to be heard and seen. Bit of an attention seeker, has to be said. A nice one though. Well, welcome back to the Netherlands. Good to see you back in one piece, Mikey. Hope you've had a good time in Israel. And I'm happy to see that you brought some sunny weather along. This is KLM flight 696, right from Toronto. Adi Clementia, goedemorgen. Also sunny in Rotterdam. Excellent. Patrick, goedemorgen. Thank you for the kind words, mate. Jose, bom dia. Welcome one and all. Now, also a massive big thank you to Hans for your continued support. 8 months of membership. That is definitely not true, Hans. Hans says I am a person who doesn't say anything, so I'm saying nothing. Unless you're Johnny Tight Lips. That isn't true. Thank you so much for your continued support, Hans. And don't be afraid to speak up. Now, what a difference! Looking towards the sea, which is, as the crow flies, 16 kilometers or so, 10 miles to the west. And you can just see how, looking to the east, clouds are forming over land. You can see that the coastline is also, if you look on Google Maps or Google Earth, you will see that the shape of the Dutch coast is also curving a little bit to the southwest, so you can even see just more or less the coastline in the clouds. Coastline being formed in a parallel manner to the clouds. No, the clouds are formed parallel to the coastline. You guys are starting to wonder if there really is vodka in my water bottle or not. Embraer 175 having returned from Southampton, KLM flight 1070. Next up, Delta. And this one might get loud. I cannot be held accountable for any loss to hearing or speakers. Arriving from Detroit. Delta Airlines flight 136, A330-300, 7 hours and 4 minutes underway, 17 years old, first flight December 2006. Now, also a massive big thank you to Sarah, who is celebrating 7 months of membership and writes, thank you for your great streams. Well, thank you so much for your continued support, Sarah. I'm happy to hear that you still like the streams, and I hope that goes for everybody. And I hope you will stay a valued member for many more months to come, but if not, then hopefully you'll still be a returning visitor on a regular basis. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your support. Now let's look and listen. Delta Airlines Flight 136 arriving from Detroit up next. Pan says good morning everyone, just came back from the gym, time to watch AMS Live. Great show, keep fit. Okay. We got a wheelie. Hardly any reversal action there. Bit disappointing, bit disappointing. Just a little bit. Come on, we all want the loud landings, don't we? Meanwhile, yeah, wow. That's Daisy Duck. Wow. You can just see her respond to my quacking. She clearly thinks, who's that idiot? What's he mumbling? That's gibberish. Learn to speak proper duck, you mofo. What? What? Trying to say hi. Also trying to say sorry, but unforgiving. It was unforgivable what I said. What? What? Pretty please? What? What? No? Don't give me the evil eye. Don't look at me like that. Right, I'll continue streaming. What a snob. Well, back to the airplanes then, I suppose. Transavia arriving from Ibiza, Party Island. Sorghums Express arriving in the Netherlands. PHHBL. Peter says it's a Donald, not a Daisy. He's upset now. Is it a he? Ah, that explains. What? Sorry, mate. Again, what do I know? Alright. We've got a 777-300 coming in from Vancouver, no less. KLM flight. Right here in the shade right now, but the sun is out there somewhere. It's probably going to be sunny again pretty soon. Right now, once again trying to find that airplane. As you can see, visibility is unimpeded to the north, so we should be able to see it theoretically. The question is always, where is it? I think it is still approaching from the west. Yep, there it is. North of Beverwijk is what we are now looking at. This airplane is coming from Vancouver and following the same path. Still further to the northwest is another Delta Airlines A330 arriving from Minneapolis. What makes you think that, Ange, that I am not a duckologist? What gave it away? Right, Alan has to go. Catch you later, mate. Thanks for joining. Enjoy your Sunday, mate. I do need a duckish dictionary. Absolutely. Andreas says he probably thought you were chatting up his girlfriend. I wouldn't dare. I am a shit starter, but not a relationship breaker. At least not consciously. Well, the contrast between off the coast and coastal weather and land inward weather is very significant. Cannot get enough of it. This is looking to the sea and to the coast. This is looking land inward. If you go to bijeradar.nl, you can probably also see it very beautifully on the satellite footage. Now, where was that airplane? It is already on the glide slope according to flight radar. There it is. Richard says, see you soon, boy. I will enjoy the rain in Rotterdam South. Yeah, don't forget your umbrella, mate. Tot gauw, Richard. Ik zal wat zonneschijn naar je opsturen. I will send you some sunshine. Richard Moes is always tuning in from sunny Rotterdam South whenever it is shitty weather over here at Schiphol Airport. But he lives in opposite land. Now we have nice and sunny weather over here, and he says it is rainy and drizzly in Rotterdam South. So I will try to send him over some sunshine. Not sure if it works, but I will do my best. Lucas says, can you zoom in at the spotter's place? Briefly, before the 777 gets too close by. Well, there is a lot of folk over there. A lot of cyclists. Can you see that the Netherlands is a cycling nation? So there are people in the way, and more are getting in the way of me showing you the Spottersplaats, the parking lot itself. Let's resort to filming airplanes then. Hey there, Alan, good afternoon. This is KLM flight 682, arriving from Vancouver, 777-300 ER, 8 hours and 31 minutes on the way. The PHBVG, the airplane is 12 years old, first flight May 2012. Lucas just wanted to see how busy it is. Well, it is busy, mate. It is a Sunday. It is a sunny Sunday, no less. And you can see there's always people at the Spottersplaats parking lot. And Adri is asking where that Spottersplaats is. I can show you quickly. Get my screen in. Let me go to Google Maps. If you go to Google Maps, Spottersplaats Polderbaan, it will show you the parking lot. There you go, that is in the distance. I'm standing over here. Well, over here, in line with the first exit. And the parking lot is over there. The roundabout and the fence is over there. And this is the cycling path. Spottersplaats Polderbaan. Look it up in Google Maps and you will find it. No problem. Sarah says, I will be at Boston on the 26th and 30th hosting a live stream team. Boy, you gave to come over Boston sometime. Well, if I ever plan on coming to Boston or anywhere close, I will hit you up, definitely. I don't have any plans to go to the United States in the nearby future just yet. But rest assured, I will hit you up when I do get those plans. You're welcome, Adri. Now, got another Delta A330 coming in. Another one arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Soda. Flight 164, flight time 7 hours and 16 minutes. The airplane is 16 years old. Its first flight was in August 2007. And let's see, one more airplane behind it. The second one should be turning in from the left. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. Another possibility for a loud landing. So far, the landings of Delta A330s have been a bit disappointing today. Of course, you never know. New round, new chances, as we would literally say in Dutch. That is a saying, nieuwe ronde, nieuwe kansen. Capitano Wheelie. Bellissimo. Bloody awesome. We got the wheelie and the reversers. Best one yet so far. Epic R says, yesterday I was looking at Anchorage, Alaska Airport. Lots of 747s there, all cargo. Yeah, it's 747 heaven, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, stark contrast. This is more or less the coastline. The Dutch coastline follows a little curve. So over here, pattern is a bit more to the north. And the edges over there more to the southwest, which is also how the land of the Netherlands is curved. The province of South Holland is where it starts curving a little bit. It's exactly that curve that you see in the clouds over here. Look on Google Maps if you're unfamiliar with the layout of the Netherlands and you'll see. Better yet, go to buienradar.nl, buienradar.nl. You can also click on satellite, which is satelliet in Dutch. Looks a lot like the English word satellite. You can probably see the clouds forming right now. From Sofia, flight 6116, arriving from Malaga. Malaga ice cream. Indeed, hon, nice and sunny at the beach. Hey, Jane also back. Oh, in the park. Two swans in a pond. I have seen swans here before, but they usually get chased away pretty rapidly. Rightly so. Don't want to catch one of those big birds in your engine. Hey there, Mike. Goedemorgen. Adrie has to go get some bread. Well, I'm going to try bake another bread. I have managed to get a nice sourdough starter going. Tried my first sourdough bread last weekend. Failed miserably, of course. I think I didn't stretch the dough. I didn't shape it properly enough, so it got really flat. Maybe also did not wait long enough for the fermentation, the bulk rise. Anyway, hopefully pretty soon I am that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I can't remember. Making my own bread and no longer have to buy it in the supermarket or at the bakers. Zelfvoorzienend, jongens. In English, what's the word I'm looking for? I know it, but I forgot. So yeah, Tom, I did make a flatbread. It did taste proper, so self-sufficient. Yeah, is that the word? Right. For some reason I was doubting if it was self-sufficient. Yeah. So hopefully I might get self-sufficient baking my own bread. Let's see, Marissa says world to fly A350 now about South Holland. Where is it then? Oh yeah, it's arriving from The Hague, Rotterdam. Meanwhile, we see 2 airplanes on the glide slope and the third one turning in. The airplane turning in is number 190, arriving from Berlin. The 2 airplanes already on the glide slope are SAS A320 Neo, arriving from Oslo in the foreground, and TUI B737-800 arriving from Ibiza in the background. Almost forgot to ask, but I think based on what I saw on my screen yesterday and the day before, and back at home when rewatching the stream and your guys' input, that I think that the white balance is in order right now. I set it again at 50 to 60 Kelvin. Which on my screen looks decent. Going for auto white balance, my camera tends to get a little warmish, yellowish. This is a bit cooler, which I think looks, at least on my screen, it looks nicely balanced. Yeah, indeed, Kelly, it has to prove overnight. So what I did was I fed the starter, and once it had doubled in volume, made my mix with everything in it already. So the flour, the starter, the water, the salt. And basically stirred it together until everything was hydrated. Then left it overnight to bulk ferment. Then tried to shape it in the morning. Put it in the fridge. Left it for 12 hours or so. Then I tried to bake it. Somewhere it went wrong. I think a couple factors. I think it didn't proof long enough. I think I might have added the starter. Well, no, I think that the starter was added at the right moment. I think it was too cold, so I think everything needed to proof and rise longer. And I'm also sure that my folding technique to get tension in the dough was inadequate. And my cutting technique also, so the spring rise in the oven also failed. There you go, lesson learned. Dennis is tuning in from warm and sunny Tipperary. It's warm and sunny over here as well. Happy to hear that everything is getting better in Europe now. What we saw just now was a special livery, well, not a special livery, it was a rental basically. Sunwings Airlines flying for TUI. More party goers returning from Ibiza. And Clementia, baking powder is not required. It should rise adequately if you have a viable starter, sourdough starter. The only time I use some baking powder is if I make American pancakes. Or Kaiserschmarrn is also nice if you put a little bit of baking powder through the recipe. Makes for a bit more airy chunks. But bread, normally speaking, shouldn't require baking powder. Either the normal baker's yeast or the sourdough starter should make the dough rise sufficiently. Pancakes, bacon, maple syrup. Now, this is what it looks like land inward. Happy that I live near the coast. I'm pretty sure that in my hometown the sun is abundantly shining. Infinity, are you in the chat, mate? Are you at home? What's the weather like in our hometown? I think it's pretty damn sunny now. Kaiserschmarrn, indeed, Maria. Okay, yeast, yeah. Well, I did not include any yeast in the sourdough bread because the sourdough starter is basically the natural yeast that you need for the bread to rise. Well, unless you make a hybrid bread, of course. KLM E190. That sounds good, Han. Meerzadenbrood, multiple seed bread, literally translated. And she says, what is Kaiserschmarrn? Kaiserschmarrn is an Austrian variety of pancake that you also break into pieces, shred it to pieces while baking. And correct me if I'm wrong, Wolfgang, Schmarren is mess, right? So Kaiser's mess, basically. And yeah, it's basically pancakes. A variety of pancakes which you can eat with unsweetened applesauce or with blackberry, or what's the... Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Han. Google it. Be amazed. Easy to make yourself, by the way. Found a really good recipe on YouTube from, I think, the Tiroler Tourismusverband or something. The official tourist board of the province of Tirol. So it must be good if they promote it. Really tasty. Actually, it is dessert, but when I am on winter sport, I usually eat it for lunch. Although, ever since I had to try gemknödel from Wolfgang, by Wolfgang, that also was very nice and tasty. That's also a good alternative for lunch if you want something sweet. Petra says, I went away for a moment and now I am back in a cooking show. Absolutely. Airplanes, National Geographic, cooking show, it's everything. So if you like airplanes, cooking, birds and everything and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like, ladies and gentlemen. It really helps to spread this content to more aviation fans such as yourselves, who might also be interested in cooking birds and airplanes every now and then. We've got a 737 coming in from Bergen, KLM flight 1164, 737-800, the PH-BCD, which is 11 years old. Oh yeah, and occasional farming equipment, absolutely. How could I forget, Ange? Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we have Russell over here sitting on his throne overlooking those silly humans. No dogs in the vicinity, so he keeps calm. That's also a suggestion, a good suggestion, Stephen. Cooking birds. Going for crossovers. Nice and sunny in the coastal region. Yucky cloudy in the not so coastal regions. Although, well, now to the north you can see that the clouds are forming more land inward. Interesting. Interesting. So it looks like maybe a wider coastal region is going to get cloudless. Yeah, fireworks too. Man. Okay, I confess there was vodka in the water bottle all along. Cannot hide it anymore. Hey, Roadhog also back in the chat. Vinny TV Adventure, good afternoon. I was about to say good morning, but 3 minutes past the hour. Good afternoon. Ange has to go. Dinner is ready. Enjoy your dinner, Ange. Maybe see you later, or hopefully soon during another stream. Now, let me reattach my DJI mic transmitter that was getting a little bit loose. Just attached to the belt of my shorts, but that is just an elastic belt, so it can wiggle loose if I wiggle too much. So the logical thing to do is stop wiggling. Epic R also has to go, or at least that's what I am inferring from his words. Have a good one all. You have a good one too, Eric. Epic R. Epic R, not Eric P. A321neo coming in from Montreal, Air Transat flight 324. 4 years old, first flight February 2020. It's not just the Embraers that have squeaky brakes. Embraers, Dreamliners, and now also A321neos. Dennis is off to watch footy. Is there a footy match on? Right, A350 time, ladies and gentlemen. Corendon World to Fly coming in from Curaçao, Willemstad. There she is, with an all blue background. Well, almost all blue, because there's also an airplane behind it, and that is a KLM 777-300. That is arriving from Panama City, KLM flight 758. Nice combo shot there. And Clemencia is nicely seated in the garden. Excellent. I also went on my rooftop terrace yesterday, the one facing west, in the late afternoon, to catch a few rays of sunshine as it was opening up. Lovely, lovely weather. Also out here now with the wind also blowing a little bit of cooling wind. It is wonderful weather. Might be a thumbnail over here, what we're looking at. 350. Here it comes. Bit disappointing in the audio department, I have to say. The what the fuck? The what the fuck plane. What the fudge? Right, time for another KLM 777-300. This one is arriving from Panama City. KLM flight 758, 9 hours and 24 minutes on the way. The PHBVR. The PHBVR, 8 years old, first flight made 2016. Marissa says, is the Corendon getting smaller and smaller, or is it just me? I think it is just you. It didn't look different in size to me than any of the other A350s frequenting Amsterdam. Is anybody else experiencing the same feeling as Marissa is having? I am curious. Feeling that the A350 is getting smaller and smaller. Right, next up, KLM flight 1830, Embraer 190, going to Stuttgart, coming from Stuttgart, going to Stuttgart, just about visible. Is that Fidel Kestrel? I think it is. Hands are off the camera. That is a helicopter Kestrel. That is Fidel. Now, two narrow bodies turning in, one from the right, one from the left. At least that's what flight radar is saying. Let's widen the shot a little bit. Well, even though I'm able to see helicopter Kestrels on my little display, I did not see any airplanes in the background. That is probably me. We'll see them soon enough. First up, KLM flight 1830, returning from Stuttgart. Embraer 190, flight time no longer mentioned, it's the Fexi. Flight time probably around an hour. The airplane is 8 years old, first flight November 2015. Okay, 747 confirmed for Polderbaan, Marissa is saying. That's good news. Not unexpected, but it's always nice to get confirmation. Embraer 190 arriving from Prague in the foreground, EasyJet A320 arriving from Basel behind it. Third Embraer 190, well, third airplane, an Embraer 190 should be turning in from the left somewhere in the distance, arriving from Leeds. Hey there, Doodlebugs, good morning. And thank you for your kind words, Dennis. I will do my best to keep it up. Now, interestingly, the wind that I feel is blowing from behind and a little bit from the left, the way I'm standing right now, facing north. In other words, the wind is blowing from the southwest still. Windfinder was indicating that later in the day the wind was going to become westerly and later northwesterly, but thus far still solidly in the southwesterly corner. Boom. Anybody home? Did see a tablet. Somebody is playing games during the cruise. Nah, that's for the maps, I know. Look at that, clear blue skies looking towards the sea. Now, interestingly, this is not how the coast is following to the north. It is more to the north directly, so it's interesting to see that more to the north the clouds seem to be forming further land inward. Next airplane is an EasyJet A320 arriving from Basel. 1 hour and 4 minutes underway. 12 years old, first flight May 2012. Johan says still 43 minutes before the A380 will land. Yeah, and the sad thing is it is going to land on the wrong runway because runway 27 is expected to open up again from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock, which means that Suparna and the A380 are going to land over there. We're just going to see the, what was it, Cargolux 747 that is inbound. That's the only airplane that we are going to see land over here. Oh! Don't get a speeding ticket. Have they reported stuff laying on the runway over there or something? The way he was speeding away? Interesting. Wat zei je? Ik ben aan het streamen, ja.
Waar kunnen we dat terugvinden? Mijn man landt zo meteen.
AMS Live. Ja.
Ik ga het gelijk noteren, het is te leuk.
Welke vlucht komt je man binnen?
Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Ja.
Hoe laat?
20 minuten.
20 minuten. Nou, dan ben ik er nog.
Ja,
Ga ik het voor je filmen?
hartstikke leuk. Sta je al de hele dag te filmen?
Ik sta hier vanaf 9:15.
Oh, dan heb je mijn dochter ook gefilmd.
Is je dochter ook binnengekomen? Welke vlucht is
Zurich had ze.
Zurich?
Ja, om 11 uur.
Om 11 uur. Is die op de Polderbaan
Ja,
geland?
ja.
Oh, oké. Ja, nee,
Ja, hou het allemaal in de gaten.
ja, want die andere...
Dublin,
Nee, precies. Nee, omdat hij ook bij de McDonald's dan open gaat of is. Oh, leuk.
Van de kaartbaan vertrokken.
Ah.
Dus ja.
Hé, maar dan staan ze beide, staan ze zo meteen staan. AMS Live, inderdaad, ja. Ja, tuurlijk. Ja, geen probleem, joh. Leuk, joh. Well, this lady is standing here. She was wondering if I was live streaming. Her daughter already arrived from Zurich earlier today, which also landed on the Polderbaan and her husband is coming in from Atlanta, was it? Yeah, from Atlanta. In 20 minutes or so from now. Nice. Now, the first next airplanes to come are still a bit out. Interestingly. We'll have to wait a little bit. Do have outbound traffic. Oh, hey, contrail. First contrail that we are seeing today. Yeah, a bit lower. That's the inbound of the outbound traffic. A bit higher up. Itty bitty contrail. Norwegian by the looks of it. Okay, bird controller is doing an inspection. Since we have several minutes for the next traffic to arrive. Hadimol, goedemiddag. Right, K1, the VW. Hey Jos, goedemorgen. Is it still morning where you are at? Over here, it's that 20 minutes in the afternoon. Right, let's film some outbound traffic then. Got another 737 coming this way. Ah, and we also saw that land before. Previous livery of Transavia. Now, in terms of contrails, not much to see. You should be able to see them over here. I mean, half of the sky is almost completely blue. It's the land inward part that is now really cloudy, like Jekyll and Hyde. Beh. Yay. Meh. Yay. Right, we've got another duck over there. I'm not going to call if it is a lady duck or a gentleman duck because apparently I don't know shit. But it is a duck. Now, let's see. Vueling A320neo arriving from Barcelona. It should be flying over there somewhere. Let me look a bit more closely. Where is it? Still in the vicinity of Noordwijk. Okay, so it is over there. It is coming this way. Johan says no runway assigned yet for the A380. It is going to be exciting. Last time I checked, and we might as well do a little check while we're at it. It was expected around 1 o'clock. Let's first turn back the camera so that the wires don't get tangled. Always nice to have something in the background when using the screen in screen. Let's do a quick check of the perimeter. So, Cargolux. Oh, Cargolux is approaching the coast and is expected in less than 10 minutes from now. If you need to go to the bathroom, be quick, you still have a few more minutes. The Emirates, yesterday we were unlucky, it landed on runway 27, it is expected around 1 o'clock. And that is not good news because that usually means it is going to land on runway 27, but who knows, we might get lucky. That would be something. Suparna 120, but that is going to land on runway 27, which will have opened up by then. This one is going to arrive later in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. Let's do a refresh of the METAR. Well, you can see that the wind is indeed moving now further to the west. It was initially more from the south. The average wind direction now west-southwest, varying between west and between south. Wind speed is still a measly 6 knots, 204. We have few clouds at 2,800 feet. The air temperature is still 21 degrees C. That is roughly 72 F. And wind finder for today also indicating that as the day progresses, the wind is going to turn from southwest to west to northwest. Wind will be its most in the afternoon, still with wind speeds and gusts below 10 knots. Current runway use, let's do a refresh. Back to what it was already. We're standing over here, currently the only runway for arrivals. Runway 27 is the secondary runway for arrivals today, and it will open up around 1 o'clock expectedly. So yeah. Oh yeah, while we're here, let's see how what the clouds look like. This is, yeah. You can see it is more or less evolving along the coast, but in the north, a bit further land inward than further to the south, which is also what you can see in the sky over here. Right. In the meantime, I'm thinking the 777 should become visible. Should be visible somewhere. Got it. Turning in is KLM flight 744 777-300 arriving from Lima in Peru. Not far behind it on paper, according to flight radar, should be a Cargolux 747. Now, let's try that 747 again. It is flying base, so you should be able to see it quite distinctly. Maybe oh, I'm really far to the west now already. Surely it's not that far out. Anyway, let's see. And Joke is going to the Veluwe for a week. Nice. Wolfgang says 777 coming over you from the east, where nothing is known about on flight radar. Is it going to pass north of me, south of me? If you guys are giving me suggestions to look in the sky, it helps to tell me where it is coming from and where it is going to, and also if it is expected to pass north of me, south of me, and where it is currently located. That helps me assess where I need to look, because as you guys can see, overhead traffic is a needle, finding it is a needle in a haystack, particularly if they don't produce or hardly produce any contrails. In the meantime, the 747 has become apparent. I think I also because I had to scroll to read Wolfgang's entire message, I now have stopped the, the live chat from updating on my phone. Well, let's fix that later. This is KLM flight 744, 777-300 ER, arriving from Lima in Peru. 11 hours and 53 minutes on the way. The PH BVK, 11 years old, first flight May 2013. Let's look and listen. Typical KLM landing, smooth AF. Let's see, Kelly Cruz, the last message in my chat window, also on the computer. Right, I think chat is synchronized again. Yeah, see it updating, nice. Right, let's quickly turn back. First and only queen of the show, Cargolux, arriving from Miami, Florida. 7 hours and 57 minutes on the way. But this is not a 757. This is a Boeing 747-400 freighter ER. 16 years old, first flight February 2008. You can already see some twinkling of lights behind it, and I can also see the 777-300 that the lady's husband, who just spoke with me, is on, approaching. The twinkling is an airplane that Han will want to avoid. I see a visualization of a bathroom break for Han coming up. Third airplane behind it is Lot. Nice linear 3 airplane glide slope shot. Jerry, are you still around? Take in the glide slope shot, mate. Bottoms up. Now, let's look and listen. Cargolux arriving from Miami. Let's get loud, let's get loud. Flipping A. Nice indeed, Roadhog. Yes. That was what we were waiting for. So departure, take off. In the meantime, looks like Dreamliner of sorts. Asymmetric reversers, okay. One of the reversers did not want to play. Okay, well, even more impressive if this noise came from just 3 engines reversing. Right, Han has to do something, he's right back. Let us quickly turn back. Have a look at the next airplane coming in. It is Vueling flight 8309, arriving from Barcelona, A320neo. Yeah, that's a nearly empty water bottle that the wind blew on the ground. Steven says, DHL banana flying nearly straight over you, west to east now. I think I have it. I think I have it. Yeah, that looks like a banana. I see yellow. Nice one, Steven. Thank you. And by the way, good to see you again. Hopo as well. What's that coming my way? It sounds heavy, but is it? It's triple, isn't it? No, it's Finnair. The A350, bringing us together since 1923. I saw it land as I was walking up here this morning. Long turnover time. Next up, Lot, arriving from Warsaw. Nice and polished landing. And Scott says, started watching the stream yesterday. I love this airport. Welcome to the show, Scott. Thank you for choosing AMS Live. And it is a lovely airport. If the weather is nice and traffic flow is good. Which isn't always the case. I hear you guys think, say what boy? Is the weather not always good in the Netherlands? Say what? I hear your minds being blown right now. It's not always like today. KLM flight 1626 arriving from Milan, Embraer 175. And indeed, Scott, the landing runway is ages away from the terminals. It's at least a 10 to 15 minute taxi. If you have a look where the Lot airplane is right now, it's going to make a left-hand turn. We'll have to taxi along the fire station and the tower over here. This runway is so far removed from the main platform area, it has its dedicated ATC control tower. The line of trees depicting the taxiway, you can already see an airplane over there in the distance still, making its way over to the main platform area. The main platform area is behind the trees over here. You can see some airplanes, and the gates and the terminal building are over here. That's the 747. Main tower is over there, terminal building is immediately adjacent to it. 10 to 15 minutes of taxi, depending on how fast the pilot is taxiing, just to get back to the main platform area. So if you have bad luck and also have to be on the other side of the terminal building on the east side, you can easily have a 15-minute taxi over here. Alrighty, next up, the 777-300ER, the husband of the lady that spoke to me earlier, is on. Her daughter already arrived earlier, and now he is also coming back home. This is KLM flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. The airplane has been flying for 7 hours and 39 minutes now. 777-300ER, the PHBVP, which is 8 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in February 2016. Let's look and listen. And again, look at the flap surfaces, nice and polished, nice and shiny. KLM really keeps them squeaky clean. Hey, what the fudge? A380 assigned to Polderbaan, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see the king. The king is coming to town. Now also a massive big thank you to Wolfgang. Oh, double clicked on it. Was supposed to be in view a bit longer. And thank you all for 500 likes. And thank you Wolfgang for dropping a box of 5 new memberships, gifting 5 new people a month worth of custom emojis, and you can use them in a few moments when the A380 is coming, and you can use them now. Thank you so much Wolfgang. You really shouldn't have, because you are doing more than enough to support the channel as a moderator already. That goes for all the moderators, you guys know it by now. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, ah, you deserve it, and we're going to disregard it anyway. Wolfgang, thank you so much. Don't forget to say Dankeschön to Wolfgang if you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships. KLM 777-200 arriving from LAX, flight 604. So, A380 assigned to Polderbaan. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, Scott, it's your lucky day. Got a membership. Check out the custom emojis. They are now at your disposal for a month. Now, also, oh, I see 2 messages. Not only Carmelici, but also Johan celebrating membership celebrations. Carmelici 5 months, and he says, hi everyone from Venice in Italy. Benvenuto Carmelici. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for your continued support. Hope all is well. And thank you for the support. Hope you will like it in the lounge for many more months to come. If something isn't to your liking, do let me know. And that also goes for Johan, who celebrates 3 months of membership. Johan, thank you so much for your support as well, mate. Let me quickly turn back, because there is another big bird landing already. A330 arriving from Bonaire. Capitano Wheelie. Capitano Wheelie. Hey. The fudge. Ah. Now, Corendon is also back. Corendon is also congratulating Carmelici and Johan. Was that this vehicle making noise? P1? A little wave. Oh, tractor also coming this way. Lucas was asking, is it busy earlier? Let me turn around. Is it busy? Yeah, it is. Got some people over here, got some people over there. You can see people have taken seats with them, stretchers, whatnot. Also, if you look in the background, the fence in the background, behind the sign, the end of cycling path sign, teeming with people. So yeah, it is another Polderbaan day with a lot of people. Probably going to get a bit more busy over here along the runway now that the A380 is also coming this way. This is EasyJet A319 arriving from Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik, Croatia, right? Coming from Game of Thrones town. Not to be confused with Göteborg, which is also GOT. Now, GOT, not to be confused with GOD. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 is going to be an Icelandair 767-300. Hi.
Ik wil je toch even een handje geven.
Hey man.
Leuk te zien. Hoi.
Hoe heet je?
Alex.
Alex.
Ja.
Alex, mooi.
Ja, ik volg je regelmatig. Dus
Oh, leuk man. Mooie dag om even langs te komen.
Ja, zeker. Ja,
Op de fiets nog wel.
Ik woon hier in Hoofddorp.
Oh, je woont hier in Hoofddorp. Leuk. Ja goed, als je wat vaker de channel hebt gekeken, dan weet je dat ik ook niet al te ver hier vandaan kom.
Daarom.
Leuk man. Ja, en de A380 die komt hier naartoe. Zag ik net in de... Ja, precies. Gisteren stonden hier voor Piet Snot.
Je hebt in ieder geval goed weer.
Heerlijk, heerlijk. Ja, ja luxe om eventjes goed insmeren. Ik had nog wel een vest meegenomen, maar die ligt in de auto. Ik denk, zal het wel, zal het niet. Nou ja, je staat hier vaker te kouklemmen dan dat je hier peentjes staat te zweten. Ja, het windje is nu wel lekker, anders had het echt te benauwd geweest. Yeah, as typical Dutchies, we are talking about the weather, as you do. That is national pastime over here, number 1. This was KLM Flight 1614, 737-700, having arrived from Milan. Now, next up is going to be a 767, Icelandair, returning from Reykjavik. And another heavy bird in the background behind it. That is a 777-200, arriving from Guayaquil. That is in Ecuador. Still not demonetized for using that soundbite, so that got me thinking maybe there are more that are funny to use.
Zo'n streamkastje kopen.
Er zit een switcher hierachter.
Ja, die heb je al achter.
Ja, zeker. Ja, nee. 2 feeds HDMI met geluid van de microfoon hier en de videofeed. En ik heb een wireless transmissie nog voor de voice-over.
Ja.
En om het ook allemaal stereo te krijgen, of althans om het in ieder geval mono te krijgen met links en rechts, dat je niet de ene feed links hoort en de andere rechts,
Ja.
dan moet je er nog iets tussen hebben. Dus ik heb zo'n ding. Ik kan straks ook nog multicamera.
Goed voorbereid.
Precies. We kunnen straks ook nog multicam gaan met deze setup. Oh, more heavies inbound after the 777 is an A330 Neo arriving from Seattle. Nice. Nice to see an influx of heavies so shortly before the A380 also arrives. Lufty A380 over Alkmaar. Wolfgang is saying, I see it. I see it. There it is. A380. Lufthansa, clearly recognizable. You can see it from over here. Pretty far away. Nearly in the top end of my digital zoom in addition to the optical zoom. Now quickly back to KLM Flight 751, a 777-200 ER, arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador. 11 hours and 18 minutes it has under its belt. The PHBQN. 18 years old, first flight April 2006. Let's look and listen. Oh yeah, 360 cam, Sander. Cannot stress enough how nice it is to see how the clouds are forming land inward, and you can see the coastline more or less in the clouds with a perfectly blue sky looking to the west, and you can see where the clouds are forming land inward. So yeah, coastal region on average gets more sunshine, and you can clearly see here an example of it. Dirk says your camera zoom is able to picture airplanes that are flying at 12 kilometers altitude. Wow! Well, not just 12 kilometers of altitude, but they were also flying in the vicinity of Alkmaar. So if you look on Google Maps and see how many kilometers that is further to the north, that is 40 or so, if not more. Now, next up, Delta Airlines in the US Team USA livery. USA, USA, USA. We have to chant it. Arriving from Seattle, Washington. Delta Airlines Flight 144. Flight time no longer mentioned, but probably 8-9 hours. 3 years old. First flight May 2021. Yeah, for a moment I hesitated zooming in for the wheelie or zooming out to see the entire livery. Chose the latter eventually. 9 hours and 12 minutes. Thank you, Marissa. It is so interesting. If I don't use split screen, I am still able to see the flight time on Flight Radar on my app on my phone until it has landed and beyond. But in split screen mode, for some reason, on some days it remains visible, on other days it just vanishes shortly before the airplane touches down. Really weird. Hey, that's a nice coincidence, Sarah. Team USA also landing in Boston while you were there. Was it the A330 Neo or was it the new A350? Which you also already saw a couple of times in the Netherlands before. Lovely airplane, by the way. Right. 2 airplanes visible. The first one being KLM flight 1044, 737-700 arriving from Birmingham. 51 minutes underway. The PHBGQ. 13 years old, first flight May 2011. Ah, the new A350. Yeah, that's a looker, isn't it? The standard Delta livery already looks good on the A350, but the Team USA looks a bit extra special. Also, the new livery of JetBlue looks really lovely, the dark blue. Right, 737-700, no Wi-Fi hump on the back. Martin R, goedemiddag, good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Now folks, if you just tuned in, welcome to the show. The A380 is coming to town and it's going to land on this runway. Awesome, Sarah took a good shot of her landing, excellent. Well, I say take, you had a good shot. I'm assuming you took a picture, shot footage. That's interesting. Third airplane being higher than the number 2. Normally it's a bit lower. But the third airplane is already visible. Now let's see, the A380. Because we have good visibility, I think I'm going to do some hunting. I mean, these are all narrow bodies, yada yada. No. No. No, no indeed. I was already thinking to myself, can't be that easy. Can't be that easy. Let's see, it is in the vicinity of Purmerend, and last time Jendrusek was here, Jendrusek and Lorenzo were here, we established that in the direction of the chimney smoke Purmerend lies. So if it is not being blocked by the clouds, I think it is. I think it is being blocked by the clouds. Really, a behemoth like the A380 should have easily been visible. Maybe take it a little wider. No, that's too wide.
Nog eentje achter.
Let's see. Zei je?
Volgens mij zit er ook nog eentje achter.
Ah. Let's see. There it is. A380. We've got a visual. It's flying base. Mostly reflecting. Will be number 4, presumably. Or will the Embraer 175 precede it? The one arriving from Rennes? Probably not. They're probably going to send it further to the north. A380 is already really close by the glide slope. Yeah, it's turning in already. Big picture wise, where am I now looking? Here. So yeah. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Get a nice little combo shot there. Now, interestingly, the airplane that flies above the A380 optically is the number 2. So what you're now going to see is a little ballet where the airplane on the right is going to lower and the A380 is going to climb higher. Quick look, Embraer 175 arriving from Kristiansand. No Captain Wheelie-esque wheelies, so let's quickly turn back. Alrighty. Emirates A380 coming this way, being preceded by just one little airplane. Embraer 175 arriving from Frankfurt. That's the airplane in the foreground. Now folks, if you've been liking the stream and enjoying it, it really helps to spread the content. If you dropped it a like, it really helps. So thank you so much if you've received some value out of this stream in the form of entertainment. The A380 is coming, the gear is down. The puny little Embraer 175 in the foreground. Hurry up, mate. Meanwhile, we have some people over there. We have a lot of people also over there. Everybody wants to see the A380. Well, let's forgo the landing of the Embraer 175. Just keep the camera pointed to the big bird. Indeed, Hans expedite vacating. Let's hope that the A380 will not get forced to go around, because will it then return to Polderbaan or will it then land on runway 27? I don't dare thinking about that. You see some twinkling left of it. That's an Embraer 175 arriving from Rennes. The A380 now number 4 on flight radar. Tracked by 856 people. Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai. at this point in the sky, normally averaging around 6.5 hours of flight time, and today a little bit less than that, 6 hours and 23 minutes. So that is ballpark nominal flight time. The airplane is 12 years old. It still has the standard livery, the old standard livery. AMS Live members already have the updated standard livery with the ribbon tail. The first flight of this April, the first flight of this airplane was in April 2012. This one is going to get loud, ladies and gentlemen. Turn down the volume of your speakers if you don't want them to break. You're watching this channel at your own discretion. Viewer discretion is advised. This one is going to get loud. Let's look and listen. Hell yeah. That sure has awoken the neighbors. And we are going to get a belated butt shot to boot. Now, Steven is also informing us that Qatar Air Force A330 is going to Buitenveldebaan. So, there you go. We were really lucky with seeing this A380 today on the Polderbaan. Let's see how long it takes. The spoilers are already down. I think, yeah, the flaps seem to be rising already, retracting. Or are they? It's a Fata Morgana optical illusion. Well, the two-story apartment building with wings has arrived in the Netherlands. Now it is beginning its long taxi back to the main platform area. Still no sign of the flaps retracting. They still look the same as they did on landing. Makes you wonder why. You have to release or pull a lever. Oh, there you go. Back to 2008 YouTube resolution. Ginger6 says, hey there, Wake Turbulence Aviation. If you just saw the landing, you were perfectly in time. Excellent timing then, mate. The king has arrived. Yeah, they have a lot of time to clean up the cockpit, absolutely. Something fell over. Well, thank you guys so much. I don't know if it was you guys that assigned the runway or if it was other air traffic control, but cheers, mate. Very much appreciated. Yesterday not so lucky, today we have been. Now the Emirates doesn't have to taxi very long because its gate is usually on this side on the main platform area. But it still has to taxi along the long line of trees back to the main platform area. And its gate is probably somewhere over there behind the trees. And again, terminal building and the main platform area is over there. least 10 minutes of taxi before the airplane gets here. Now, even though a lot of narrow bodies are now incoming, it is nice and warm out here. So I'm thinking maybe let's extend the stream until 1:30 or something. See if something is coming. I'm also hearing an ambulance. Was hearing. Got it. Of the emergency services. Hey, dankjewel. Fijne dag, man. In the meantime, E2 Embraer 195 just landed, returning from Aberdeen. Hey, goedemiddag. Jazeker. Jou ook?
Lekker.
Mooi. Wat een mazzel hè met de A380.
Ja, zo.
Nou.
Dus, die komt nog.
Wat zei je?
Orange Pride.
Orange Pride is al,
is al geweest.
die is al geweest, die is al geland.
Ja, te laat vertrek uit Utrecht.
Oh man. Now, also a massive big thank you, Sarah, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Sarah. If you are one of the recipients of Sarah's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to Sarah and be sure to use all the custom emojis that are now at your disposal for a month. Whenever you see fit, spam us to death with them. They're there for a reason. Spamming is not allowed, but spamming with custom emojis is. Sarah, thank you so much. Very kind and generous of you. And Suparna 747 is 24 minutes out. Yeah, it is, Lois. I think it is going to arrive on runway 27 though. Yeah, well, maybe not. It is arriving from the north. We have seen it before that planes from the north were assigned to Polderbaan when 27 was also open, but last couple of times we weren't so lucky. Oh. I thought there was a big sneeze coming. Shamrock. Aer Lingus Flight 604 having returned from Dublin. Not in the retro livery, sadly. That is a gorgeous airplane. Next up, top Air Portugal. Tap tap. 2 airplanes behind it already visible. First one being an Embraer 190 arriving from Glasgow, and the second one, oh, Han, don't look, Vueling, arriving from Valencia. Right, Lucas has to go. See you later. Butterflies also doing a little cameo. And this is TAP Air Portugal, arriving from Lisbon. Well, you know what, let's see if we can see the Suparna land at least on runway 27. It is expected around 1:30. And a nice Portuguese butt shot to boot. Han says, flight attendant asks the pilots if they would like something to eat. Captain asks, what choices do we have? She replies, yes or no. Nice one. Let's see, Adrian says, bij Kampen A380 at 40,000 feet. Well, Kampen, help me out, mate. I'm from the west coast. I don't recall from memory where Kampen exactly is in the sky. Not sure if we can see it from over here though. Definitely more cloudiness land inward. I think it is also blocking the view on contrails. Still lovely to see over here the coastal region. Everything all blue. Yeah, a few cirrus clouds, but you can see the clouds forming land inward. That's where the clouds are at. The wind, as you can see on the scale of chimney smoke, it has picked up and also has become a bit more westerly, as was also expected. It also feels now like the wind is blowing more or less from the west. Blowing in clean air, cloudless air. Jane also back, and Marissa says 747 confirmed for runway 27. That was to be expected. I'm assuming it is in Dutch airspace already. Han, look away, this is Welling, flight 1377 arriving from Alicante. It is an A320. 2 hours and 28 minutes underway. The airplane 100 years old, 11 years old. March 2013 is when it first began to fly. I need a driver, and then someday I might do actual vodka in my water bottle. see how the streaming will go then. Marissa says, thanks for the stream, boy. I gotta go. See you all next time. Thank you so much for joining, Marissa. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday. If you go out, don't forget to apply sunscreen. You're right, Adriaan. Not if you live in Kampen, then you know where Kampen is. Overijssel, Gelderland, something in that region, right? Gelderland, for some reason, I think. Do you know it? Kampen? Zwolle. In the, yeah, so that is that Gelderland, Zwolle?
Yeah.
Long time ago that we had to memorize the capitals of the provinces. Where is it, Overijssel? So Canada also has to go. Steven says Kampen is very close to Zwolle. Yeah, Zwolle, is that Overijssel or is that the province of Gelderland? Try saying that if you're not Dutch. Gelderland. With the G. The only language that I know also has a similar is Israeli, I think. What's that Hebrew then? What's the language called? Is it Hebrew? I think Hebrew. Overijssel, Martijn tunes in. Thank you. Eddie is back and Dirk is saying goodbye. Thank you for joining, Dirk. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See ya in the next one. Well, next week probably. Ricardo gaat er ook vandoor, says thank you and see you next stream. Thank you too. See you in the next one, Ricardo. And let's see, where is the 747? It is flying now in the vicinity of Hogeveen, Asse, Drenthe. Drenthe. Still a bit out. I'm going to do my utmost best to film it the best we can from over here. Zwolle is Overijssel, right. Harry tuning in from Ontario, good morning. If you just tuned in, you missed the landing of the A380, which landed on this runway. Can you believe it? I'm going to timestamp all the highlights of today's show once I get home, so if you just tuned in and missed some of the landings, like the Orange Pride, I will timestamp them. So come back in a few hours after the stream ends. Ja, Zuid-Afrikaans natuurlijk, Han, of course. Zuid-Afrikaans is of course a mixture of English and Dutch, I think. I think if you're British you will understand Zuid-Afrikaans, but if you're Dutch you definitely will understand it. Just think, need to spit. Adrian says, a Belgian is coming over you, looking up, not seeing any contrails in the immediate vicinity. Where do I need to look? The only thing overhead that I'm seeing is Russell. Russell was what? Well, he was watching over us, no longer. Is that the case? Right. Transavia 737 arriving from Faro, and there is a 737 also approaching, doing a short circuit, which is over there. KLM 737 arriving from Barcelona, gear already down, turning in. Judy also says good night, boy, and everyone. See you next time. Good night, Judy. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you in the next one. Ah, Learjet, okay. I've kept my eye out for that quadrant all the time now, but hard to see any contrails today. It seems that there isn't a lot of humidity in the upper atmospheres because I haven't seen any big birds, even though occasionally I am hearing them. Yeah, what do you know? There are no contrails being formed because I am seeing what looks like a 747. Now I really have to look closely. I think it is a 74 from Lufty. Yeah, no, Dreamliner. Looks like a Dreamliner. Producing no contrail whatsoever. There you go. Needle in a haystack, but I managed to find it. That is a Dreamliner. Easily recognizable by the wing shape. Now, what is it? Is it United? Contrail spotting without there being any contrails. Needle haystack going out of telescope mode. Yeah. Speck of white in the sea of blue. Right. Telescope mode disengaged once again. United, indeed. United Frankfurt to Denver. Cool. Thanks for chiming in, guys. We have another airplane doing a short circuit. Gear already extended. This is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Zurich. KLM flight 1920. Let's go back to the top end of optical zoom so that you don't get that distracting pixelation. Take this moment to zoom out a little bit, see where Suparna is at. It is flying between Kampen and Lelystad. Now I remember, I've been to Kampen before moving I was going there because a couple of flooring companies were there. I was checking out what their assortment of laminate flooring was for the first floor. I drove there. I flipping drove there no less than 2 years ago. Right. Choina 747 on radar outbound. Is it already near the runway, ready to take off, Wolfgang? Let's see, I just have inbound traffic filtered. Let's do both inbound and outbound so that I can also have a look on flight radar. Right, that Choinese triple is going to take off from the Cargolux because that is now the only runway being used. Ooh, those are very kind words from Finnair A350 fan Dallas, Australia. Says, I'm enjoying this more than Sid Squad. Thank you so much for the compliment. Now, I'm seeing the Choinese 747. Is it number 2? Yeah, it looks like it is lining up now. What is that? Oh no, that's Shamrock is arriving traffic. Cool. So Choina Airlines Cargo will be taking off after the 787-10 that is now lined up. Hey, we missed her in first instance, but there she is again with the 3 ducklings. White, light feathered mama duck. If I recall correctly, it was a mama duck with darker feathers that was having the 10 ducklings. Come on, don't get too far behind. Don't want Harry to capture you. Right, I see that the Chinese 747 is lined up. Hopefully it is going to make a right-hand turn, come this way. In that case we can follow the entire departure, including the turn towards us. So let's see. Oh, looks like a BizJet first took off from the Schiphol Oostbaan. Okay, Choinese 747 on its way to Shanghai, Air Choina Cargo. There it is. Let's see, which way will it turn? If it turns to the left, it's going to turn away from us. If it continues on this heading and is banking this way, it is going to make a turn and will pass past us, and we will be able to follow it until it has passed us to the north. This is Air Choina Cargo, and that already doesn't look very good. That might still be the initial. No, that's not the initial turn anymore. That's the wrong departure. That's the wrong departure. Yeah, that's not what we want to see. That's not what we would have liked to see. Yeah, stupid Chinese triple. Triple 747. Now let's see, the 747 from Suparna is in the vicinity of Alkmaar. So that is going to become visible pretty soon. Don't think we can see it just yet, but we will be able to pretty soon. Clemencia also going. See you later, Clemencia. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one, probably. Meanwhile, it is Embraer Fest. Although the number 2, now having turned in, is a 737. And everybody's all over the place, also to the other runway. KLM flight 1420, arriving from Nantes. Embraer 190, 1 hour and 9 minutes underway, and the airplane is 10 years old. First flight January 2014. And the 737 behind it, that is arriving from Geneva. And there's also an A320 coming, that is... oh no, yeah. Was distracted by the airplane behind it, that's the Coast Guard Dash 8. A320 Air France arriving from Paris. Now, before that we are going to turn the camera towards the east, because now almost on the glide slope of runway 27 is Suparna Airlines, arriving from Nanjing. Let's see how 2008 pixelated we can get this. Let's see, there is a BizJet now in the vicinity of Amsterdam southeast. I do see something over there. I don't think that that is the BizJet just yet. No, that's the preceding airplane. So we need to take a look further to the left. It's always good to get your bearings in. Let's see, this is Amsterdam West, those buildings. Ah, this is the building I was looking for, right in the center, Rembrandtoren. That is near Amstel Station. So I know exactly where that is, and I know that the glide slope is... there it is. I was already saying, having lived in Amsterdam for 8 years, I know exactly where the glide slope to 27 is. There it is. Still flying west, east of Weesp over the A1 highway. Now between Naarden and Weesp. Coming this way, Suparna. It is coming. Let us entertain ourselves with the traffic coming to Polderbaan in the meantime. A bit longer. Once again, have a look. This is where we are in the west of the country, and you can see just land inward how the clouds are forming. Coastal region, totally devoid of any clouds. Lovely day here. Good to be on the west side, but let's not incite an east side west side war. Nothing good can come out of that. Where was I pointing the camera earlier? Over here. There it is. Still visible there. This is 400 times zoom. This is not the maximum, but I kept it at 400. It can also go to 800, but that is overkill. 400 is already overkill. Don't know why so much zoom would be allowed on a camera, because it adds nothing. Now this is going to be the last airplane of today's show. Suparna Airlines arriving from Nanjing, now number 7 on flight radar. 544 people are following it. 10 hours and 29 minutes this airplane has flown thus far to get here. The airplane is 16 years old. First flight July 2007. Let's pick that up later. Go back to the landing at Polderbaan currently taking place. Air France arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. A320. Jindrusik. Don't be a shit starter, Jindrusik. West side is the best side. West Stains versus East Stains. Jungle is massive. Ali G in the house indeed, Paul. Lovely. Adriaan, you have a great Sunday too. Thanks for joining again, Adriaan. Have fun at the pool. Yeah, let's go for a swim. Well, it is nice weather to do a bit of swimming. Meanwhile, this little bit of pixelation is Suparna touching down on runway 27 somewhere out there. And on that terrible disappointment, it is time to end the show. Thank you all so much for joining me here. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. For those of you who still haven't done so, if you liked what you saw, you got value out of it, you were entertained, drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to more fans who don't know the channel yet. Weather is good tomorrow, so I'm looking for another stream tomorrow morning. Hope to see you then. If not, then hopefully later in the week. Be safe, enjoy the sun if the sun is out where you are living. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Thank you also for all the support, for the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships and whatnot. You guys rock. This channel is nothing without you guys, so thank you once again. And also, lastly, not least importantly, thank you moderators for keeping the chat friendly and accessible once again. See you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.